Hey, I've decided to knit on my front porch today as we begin this long-awaited lace knit-along. I have my pattern, I have my yarn, the two most important bits. I have my second swatch that I finished while I was at the beach. I tried out the size 2.5 needles and I really like this fabric. I also happen to make gauge, so yay on that. I have my highlighter tape. I have beads, which aren't going to come in for a while, so they're fine. It's an advanced technique I'm going to show you as we go along. I have my little teeny lace stitch markers. And I also have a piece of string for a lifeline, because I'm going to show you how to do that. And these needles are not Chaigu. These are a different brand of needle, and they do not have the lifeline hole to put one in with that makes it easier. So I also have a darning needle that I'm going to use to insert my lifeline. I'll show you both so that I'll grab some needles and show you how to do it the easy way, and then I'll show you, it's pretty easy, but I'll show you how to do it with the darning needle too. But that's what we need to get started. So let's go to the directions and have a look. If you have been paying attention, I did some shorts on Instagram, and I put up 4 different cast-on techniques. I put in twisted German right and left-handed. I put in a long tail cast-on right and left-handed. You can choose. In the instructions, Kelly suggests you use a twisted German cast-on for this cowl. And what that does is the different cast-ons will give you a looser or tighter bottom to your cowl and top to your cowl. Sometimes I like to just do the old over the thumb cast on because it really makes a really loose bottom, and so that when you wear the cowl, it will really drape nicely. We're going to follow the instructions. So this is a size 2.5, not unlike Kelly's 2, but I made gauge. So I'm going to look down at my pattern and figure out what the cast on is. Directions: using the twisted German cast on 170, and then in parentheses is 180 or 190, depending on how big you want your cowl to be. It says 200 to 260 yards. Half of a skein of this is 520. So I should have enough, 260. So I'm going to cast on the 190 size, fingers crossed I don't run out. I'm usually a pretty efficient yarn user, so I'm going to take that into account. So I need to cast on 190 stitches. I'm going to put a stitch marker in every 10 stitches to help me count. Actually, I'll push it off to every 20 stitches. The twisted German cast on. Oh, and then how do I know how long to make my tail? I usually calculate 1 inch per cast on stitch, especially because this is a twisted German and there's a little bit more yarn usage in that cast on. I'm definitely going to stick to the solid 1 inch per stitch. Normally a long tail cast on would be a little less than 1 inch per stitch on a fingering weight, but because I'm doing twisted German, I'm going to make it a solid 190 stitches, which is about 36 inches is a yard, 72 is 2 yards, 80, 90, 100, I need about 4 yards. So 72, that's 140. Ooh, I need 5 yards, so we're gonna do that. All right, so I know that it's 1 yard from my nose to my fingertip. So, and you don't need to be exact about this. This is ballpark. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now 5 is generous for this, so I'm going to back it up about a half a yard. So 4.5 yards. And I'm going to put my slip knot in. I am a slip knot user. Not everybody is. The cast on you choose is not absolutely vital to this. If you're not comfortable doing a twisted German, it's absolutely okay. I also put my tail to the back. That's also uses the yarn more efficiently. Use whatever cast on you want. Kelly and I just happen to like twisted German, so she picked it. It's also an opportunity to learn how to do the twisted German. I will be linking either with cards here or in the info below, some shorts I made that shows you how to do the twisted German cast on in both left or right. I happen to be a left on cast on person, so be prepared for that. You cast on using the hand you like. I'm going to show you a pour example in front of me. So long tail cast on technique. Hold the yarn between your fingers, bring it down in front, and then you're going to go under the entire thumb pair, from in through the loop from the top, go around your finger, and then go back out through the top of your thumb loop and tighten. It's just a bit of a flourish on the twist on the long tail cast on. Just a little extra twist in there. And we have 190 to do, 190 cast-ons. I'm going to pause every 20 stitches and put in a stitch marker so that I don't have to recount this every 5 minutes. It helps a lot. Some people do every 50. 10 is tempting, but I'm going to skip it and go to 20. Hope I don't have to use so many stitch markers. And actually, once we get to our lace, we may do more frequency. But we don't need that yet. All right. A few more. I think I'm there. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 14, 16, 18, 20. I had one extra. I'm going to pop it off. If I had clothespin markers or gourd markers, I could just pin those on and then it wouldn't be as... I have to get it exact on this. So the next 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 20 again. Double check. Always double check. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 14, 16, 18, 20. Stitch marker. Put it on. All right, I'm going to carry on doing this, which I'll fast forward you until I have 190. Six, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, 190 is my cast on. Now, what do we do next? Cast on 190 stitches and join in the round, being careful not to twist. This is a trick. It's a trick. Be careful. All right, so this is like wild all over here, right? I am going to spread these out, but I'm also going to make sure that my cast on edge, or the knitting, or the sort of this finished edge, is along the bottom of my needle. Okay, all along the bottom, so that when I join this in the round, it doesn't twist. Like if I left that like that, look, the knitting's on the top. Bad idea. Don't do it. Make sure everything is along the bottom. Twists very easily. I can twist things quicker than snot. All right, all along the bottom of the needles. I'm gonna join in the round, so I'm gonna put these around, and look, I'm gonna have to magic loop this because I have a long needle. I think it's a 32, but we're going to magic loop. Is you pull out the cable out of the middle of your work, also making it riskier again for twisting. But I'm gonna go check, make sure that all of my edge is on the inside of the needle. Twist it around, so that when I put this in the round, that they're all facing each other. There. That's not there. This is a twist. I had a potential twist here. There. This is fine. Okay, we're good. Now I'm going to roll this up to the end. If you have a shorter needle, that's great. Sometimes even with the shorter needle, you're going to need to do a magic loop to get the first initial one on. So these are all on the needle. It makes it easier to go along. I'm going to set my thread up, which, by the way, I still have about a yard left. So I could have shortened that a bit, but it's fine. I'm going to check again to make sure I don't twist. If you twist, you're going to end up with a mobias strip. Make sure I don't have my tail in my hand. And knit my first stitch. This is one of the reasons why I like Chai-Gu, is that tail isn't as... I knit my first stitch, well honestly I knit my first round through the back loop, but that is because when you cast on left-handed but knit right-handed, you end up with your first row is a bit twisted. So you're going to notice that this first round I knit through the back loop. Okay, I've joined my round. I'm going to double check again that nothing is twisted, and I just found a dangerous zone here. And hopefully I'm not twisted. I think I'm okay. Alright, I've joined. Place a marker for the beginning of the round. And then I knit around. Alright, so I'm going to place a marker, actually there, back a stitch, because I just joined with a stitch. So there's my round, and I'm going to knit all the way around this one round. Actually, I happen to know that we're going to knit a few rounds now. So it's just knit around. No lace yet. Like I said, because I cast on left-handed, I knit my first round through the back loop to compensate. Otherwise, I would have twisted stitches. Alright, so this is it for round one. No lace yet, but this will give you a chance to get your cast on. So get all your yarn ready and cast on your needles. I hope you've done your swatches already. We're going to knit, let me double check actually. We're going to knit all stitches until we have 1 inch. So 1 inch of knitting around. Just knit around. And what we're doing is, see the edge at the bottom of the cowl? That's what we're creating, is that bottom edge. Alright, that's it for week 1 installment. No lace yet, but next week we are hard into the lace and I'm going to give you all the tricks. So come back. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe, give this a thumbs up, leave any comments. Are you caught up? Get caught up. You've got a whole week now to do it. You've had 2 weeks to get to this point with your swatching, and you've got another week until next Wednesday when we will start the lace portion of this, and I will show you how to read the charts. I will give you all the tricks that I have at hand to be successful with your lace knitting. Until then, I'll see you next time. Bye.